morning, DIYers. It is Monday, April 27th, I think, and it is time for the Monday Morning Commute. Today I want to talk about two things, happiness and balance. It's two things that you struggle with it throughout your entire life, so I can't say that I've learned everything I'm going to learn, but I've learned a lot about it in the last year or so. Sadly, I learned from failure. The first thing I want to talk about this morning is happiness, and for a long time, my happiness was based on trying to make other people happy, and I couldn't ever truly be happy because I was always looking to make someone else happy. And at the end of the day, you figure out that the only happiness that truly matters is your own, not that you don't want other people to be happy, like your wife or your parents or your kids or your siblings or whatever, whoever, friends. But you can't truly help them or truly make a positive happiness influence on their life unless you are truly happy. So if I am miserable, but I'm trying to make everybody else happy, I'm really not doing a good job of making everybody else happy. So you need to focus on what exactly makes you happy first. I learned that the hard way. I made a lot of mistakes, and it started when going off to college. I should have stayed locally, and I thought about it. But I was trying to make everybody happy, my parents, my friends, and just say, oh yeah, I'm going to this school. And I felt like even though I wanted to stay, wanted to go to, a community college first, because I really had no idea what I wanted to do. I thought marine biology was cool, and that's why I ended up picking where I went. But I wasn't happy to go. I ended up having a fun time, and I met a lot of cool people that I, have the pleasure of knowing now, and that's awesome, and those experiences I'll never forget. But truthfully, I've learned through an inordinate amount of student loan money and money my parents and my grandparents had saved for me. So at the end of the day, I ended up wasting a year basically of money at a really expensive school, and I wasn't happy. Then you roll into marriage and parenthood, and I was trying to make my wife happy. I was trying to make my kids happy, and I still wasn't happy, and I hadn't focused on what do I need and what do I want as a person and as a man. And I thought that by making my kids happy, I would find happiness, and I think there is some happiness to be had from making other people happy and making my kids happy and making sure they have a good life, but I don't think that is the only thing. And that all ended up going a little bit sour with the marriage and all that stuff. But I still have a great relationship with my kids, and I see them pretty much every other day for the most part. And it's the best of a bad situation. And I'm in love, I'm happy, and I'm not going to change my happiness to make anybody else happy anymore. And my happiness is solid. So now I can focus on being a better friend and a better son, brother, whatever, co-worker. And I think that is the important part. The next thing I'm talking about is balance, and there's so many things in life that need to be balanced. And not only do you have to balance your work life and your personal life and responsibilities at home, you also have to balance your health. You have to balance your happiness. You also have to balance your knowledge and your drive, and that takes a lot. And to be honest, the more balanced you are, the easier it is. And I think what's been so hard for me with the Breaking 300 series is that I'm not very balanced, and I'm getting there, and I'm working towards getting that balance that I need. And I think the last 2 weeks has kind of been that wake-up call that I'm making strides, but I'm still got a long way to go. And I was pretty much bogged down for a week straight with work and being at Celebration, which was a blast, don't get me wrong. But I came back, and my allergies kicked in like crazy, and I was just floored. I really was. And I tried to get a bunch of videos out, and I recorded a bunch. I just didn't get the chance to have time or energy to edit them. It's all about balance. I had to figure out, okay, well, I can't do this right now. I just can't. And you have to do that sometimes, especially if you're doing side work. You got to figure out, okay, work is crazy. I have side work, so how am I going to do this? What do I have to cut out? What do I have to change in my sleeping habits or my my extracurricular activities? What do I need to do to make sure my balance stays in order. Because if work is crazy, you can't have a bunch of other stuff going crazy because you're just going to drive yourself nuts. And eventually, it's just not sustainable, and you're going to drop something, whether it's work, personal life, your kids, something's going to drop, and you don't want that. Best way that I've found to get balanced, and this is not the only way, and this is probably not even the best way that I figured that out is to take a piece of paper, write down from 1 to 5, even if you had 100 things going on, 1 to 5, what are your top 5 priorities today? You write those down, you do those. Doesn't matter how big they are, how small they are, write them down. Write down 5 each day and just knock them all off the list. If it's something that has to be, that's going to take 2 weeks, like if it's a development project, break it into 10 different days of all the tasks you need to do. Break it up, knock it out. That's about it. I got a ton of stuff coming out this week on the channel. Got from me, my ride or die homie right here, Callie. We are heading into work. I hope everybody has a great week. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Good luck this week. Find your happiness. Take care, DIYers.